Java allows us to group classes into organizational units called packages. Packages are pretty equivalent to something like folders in your or directories in your operating system or the PC or Mac that you might be using. And how we can group a particular class or a group of classes into a package is by using a statement called package followed with the package name as the first line of your code in a Java file. So in this case, the monster class, which we discussed in the previous, which we have been discussing so far in our lectures, is actually organized into a package named monstermash.characters. The dot convention actually means that this characters is itself another package. So it's like a sub package that is under the monster mash package. So how this will look like or how you will visualize this, we are going to see very soon. But you can think of this as you have a big folder that's called monster mash. Within that folder, there's another folder called characters, and within that characters, there's a file called monster.java. Now we have another class which is called players.java, which has two different class variables, and we can store that in the same package using the same statement, which is package monstermash.characters. So that means this monstermash.characters directory or the characters directory within the monster mash directory will contain two files. One is called monster.java and the other one is called players.java. This is just used for organization purposes or to group similar classes, because when we are working on industry level large scale projects, there could be hundreds of classes. So having a directory structure might be really helpful. Here we have this myprogram.java where we want to run this particular, where we want to create objects for these two classes. And if we want to use a particular class that's declared publicly in our running program, which is called myprogram.java, we need to import the package. You all might be very familiar that we have been using import java.util.star or import java.io.star. Those are inbuilt packages that are provided by Java. In this way, we can create our own package, and how we actually call that package is by using import statements followed with the package name. So in this case, if we do import monstermash.characters.star, this will grab all the files which are there in the monstermash.characters directory. Another thing to note is that if you want to, if you use something like monstermash.star instead of monstermash.characters.star, this will not include the files within the subdirectories, but it will only include the folders. So if you try to create an object of a class monster or player by just using import monstermash.star, that will not work. So you need to give the full path to actually access any of the class objects. So in this case, we have created two different objects, one for the player class and the other one for the monster class. Conceptually, or within the directory, this is how it will look like. You'll have your source folder in IntelliJ. Also, you have a monster mash directory, and within the monster mash directory, you have the characters directory. And within this character directory, you'll have two different classes. One is called monster.java, and the other one is called players.java. If in this particular file I included just package monster mash, then in that case we'll have one folder monster mash and the other one characters, which is a subfolder, and that will contain monster.java, and there'll be another file in this folder that will have players.java in case I just don't add this dot characters subdirectory. We are going to see a demo in the next slide on how to use packages in IntelliJ. But one thing you also need to know is that Java needs that you also, in addition to creating, like when you create packages, you not only need this line in your code, but you also need to have a physical folder in IntelliJ. So that means like if we just include this line, but we don't have these physical folders, we'll get an error. This is peculiar to Java, and in other languages it may or may not work dependent on the functionality that the language provides. So now let's do a quick demo of how these packages work. Let's do a quick demo of packages. So in the previous videos, we created this class monster, and how we create a package is by using 3 different things that you need to do to make sure the packages work. The first one is use the package statement, which is you have the package followed with the package name. So in this case, I'm naming the package 3502. The second thing that you need to do to create a package is you need to create a folder of the same name. And how you do that is you right click on the source, which is your working directory, and then you click new followed with package, and you have to name the package exactly same as the one that you have written in the statement. So in this case it will be 3502. You can see on the left side in your working directory that IntelliJ now has created a folder. Since this class monster is within this package, you need to physically move this file monster from your source or working directory to inside this folder to make sure it works. Now you see that we have got rid of any of the squiggly lines. Now how to use this particular class in your Java main program is I have this class and I'm using these monster objects. This code is from the previous videos. So how you can do that is by using the import statement followed with the package name, followed with the name of the classes that you require. So in this case, you can either use star to bring all classes, but since we do not have we just have one class, you can also use monster, or you can selectively add classes. So let's say if it had 2 classes called monster and player, you can just make sure to import just one class instead of the other because of a particular use case that you might need. Now let's try to run this and see whether it works or not. So I'm going to run this code and you can see that this works absolutely fine. So it's still compiling and you can see it's printing the same values as the values we had in the constructors or the previous videos that we covered. That's all for packages, and you can add as many classes into this packages. You can create subdirectories by adding new packages inside packages, and then you can use the entire path of that package to bring that file. If you have any question in this week's lectures, feel free to contact me or Professor Zhao. Thank you.